So I think here, did I react to this burn knuckle? It kind of looks like it, right? I think. I am kind of curious, because like in this case, yeah, because the heavy one's a lot easier to react to, right? Because he like puts his hand out for a second. Could I have feasibly done something like this? Yeah, right. Why play if you don't want to have fun? True, true. I could have done this, right? Which like, I think again, I say this because I think I did. Like it's clear to me. I think I reacted to burn knuckle with a jump over right there. Like I saw it and then I jumped and this happened, right? Like if I'm gonna react, this is an easy. You have to. You know, the armor starts up frame 1. All I have to do, you know, he hits me. How deep in right there? Like that's like yeah, like 23 frames in, right? It's like it's a 22 frame reaction check. That's not that's pretty reasonable to do, right? And I did it right there. I just picked the wrong option there. I reacted with jump instead of this, right? And then off of this, we do whatever the fuck we want at that point, right? If we want, we can go like full combo into 720 or something like that. It depends. So yeah, like with that lens of just like, let's keep a really close eye on how we play in these rounds when we have, if and when we get these like huge leads, right? Are we still playing like it's an even game? Because that's really interesting stuff to me. That's really bad. Very, very bad. Mark of the Wolves, so true. I heard the next City of the Wolves beta is coming out in, it's like the 26th or something like that, and they got T-Zoc and that shit. I'm gonna have to try. I might have to re-download. Okay, stand leg kick. I like it. Sure. You ever SPD right after blocked body splashes because they expect the headbutt, or is it just insanely risky at higher levels? No, I mean, SPD is always inherently risky. I need to mix in SPD at different places, certainly, right? There's nothing, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just as much of a 50-50 as anything else, right? After headbutt or whatever. So, I think it's definitely a good thing to be doing. I definitely only SPD in a couple of spots in my pressure, and I could be way more creative with it to keep people guessing a little bit more. It's all about unpredictability, right? Okay, wait, again. So every time we get hit, every time we lose our turn, let's think about that. Sure, we just got DP'd right there. That's fine. Okay with that. Sure. This is, by the way, this is a good thing. Like I am, or not. It's not a good thing, but I'm very happy to see myself taking throws in the mid screen. He does no damage, and we back tech, and he gets nothing. Right? We reset to neutral. Right? There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. So that's something I will, every time I see myself get thrown in the mid screen, if I'm in a situation where, like, you know, I was in a 50-50 there, I'm going to applaud myself. The pressure when one is in the lead might come from feeling like the game is already over. Yeah. But, you know, it ain't over till it's over, man. It ain't over till it's over. Like, we gotta fucking actually prove it. Okay, this is the correct thing to do here. That little overhead, I blocked it. Well done. And I tried to SPD him. I just misinputted it, right? Yeah. Like, this is -5. This is a guaranteed heavy SPD punish. I did light SPD here, but I just misinputted it. Unfortunately. Still, though, we tried for the right thing. Again, we're going a little too fast, so our inputs do suffer sometimes. That's good. Good bait. He did DPS earlier in the round. We couldn't have gotten we just barely didn't have enough drive gauge. Here's an interesting idea. It's something I never really considered, huh? I here am, I'm very clearly trying to bait a DP here, right? Like, in my head, I'm doing this to bait a DP, right? When you block supers, you should parry them, right? Just because you get the extra drive gauge and stuff. How much, I could just parry this DP too, right? Like, if I'm expecting it here, is it not better to do, hold on, that? How much drive gauge do we get back from this? Oh, well, actually, I actually wouldn't have wanted the perfect parry, believe it or not. This looks like it's, I mean, it is, I think it's more than we have, is it? Yeah, it is, yeah, look at that. It would have made he wouldn't have died, right? But like, it would have made the difference doing this gigantic combo to him or not, right? It's like, if I'm explicitly trying to bait a DP, which again, I clearly am here, right? We could potentially get a little bit more drive gauge out of it doing the parries instead of actually blocking, right? But again, that makes all the difference. It ends up that we can actually do this. All in on the RPS? Yeah, man. I mean, why not, right? I mean, to be fair, if I'm down backing here and he throws, I'm not delay teching anyway, right? So he's gonna throw me regardless. It'll be punish counter, sure, but like, this is probably a significantly better thing to do, right? Because we just get, like, even with the burnout there, just, like, doing that, like, 5,000 damage to him is so good. Instead, we get this, right? Which is still good. We get Oki. But, like, it's an idea. Even maybe you could argue that here, because we get Oki and it's a 50-50 anyway, that, like, actually burning ourselves out there would have been bad. Even then, we should still just, I mean, even then, right, we can still just parry the DP and then do this combo regardless, will still end up with more drive gauge, right? I've also noticed that you use stand heavy punch as an anti-air instead of lariat a lot. Is this to cover for cross-ups, or does it have other advantages? Yes, to cover for cross-ups. 2, it starts up its armor faster than lariat hits people out of the air, right? Lariat is I think it's a 12 frame startup. Is that right? 12 frame? And I think it has anti-air invuln never, right? I don't think it ever gets anti-air invuln. I think it has projectile invuln like frame 6. So heavy punch gets its armor on frame 4, right? So it is a quicker way to like absorb their hits. It's worse to actually hit them out of the air, but I found it to be a safer anti-air a lot of the time, right? You get less reward off of it, but it's a little bit lower risk. Kind of like, think about like, DPing an anti-air, DPing versus like getting like a crouch heavy punch punish counter into the full combo or something like that. But yeah, I probably use heavy punch a little bit too much as an anti-air, but it does certainly have its advantages over lariat, I think. They are two different kinds of anti-airs. I think with parrying super is that there isn't a negative outcome since you can react to the super flash. Yeah. But I was thinking even there, like, if I'm hard baiting the DP right there and I'm low on drive gauge, in that situation, I don't see why I wouldn't parry, honestly. Because like him throwing me out of that is like very uncommon, I think. But yeah, supers you should definitely be parrying all the time, right? Yeah, I remember I was trying to be a little quirky right there. Triple jump into the forward jump, sure. Like I'm jumping. See, there he is again, right? I get the idea, right? This knee looked like maybe it could have been +2. This is the problem with knee, right? This is the problem with knee. Like, I want not worth IMO, maybe. But I think again, for this exact situation, like, I mean, to be fair, if he was gonna throw me there, I was gonna get hit by it anyway. But I would have been in burnout off the parry regardless. But I would have been on lower drive gauge. I think in that exact situation, since it let me do a much higher damage combo, it could have been worth it. It's something to consider at the very least. This, on the other hand, is not quite as debatable. Like, I get what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to space out knee so it's +2. The problem with that is that it makes it the easiest. If you're trying to do it from so far away, it's the easiest to whiff, right? So it can lead to a lot of problems right there. Like, knee is really not the neutral king that I seem to believe that he is. But yeah, I think that would have been the first time I baited that Terry's DP as well, right? So I think it's more so like that would be a quite unexpected answer for him, I think, if he threw there on my plus frames, right? And he used to be a menace button. That's my problem. I have had this just muscle memory burned into my head, right? I've had this muscle memory burned into my head of knees just like, there's like no downside, man. You do it, and if it hits, it hits, and if not, it's safe, and you know, you just do it like right in their face anyways, don't have to worry about spacing it, it's all good. And it hasn't been the case for like fucking 5 months or something like that, right? But like, I just can't get it out of my head, man. Can we gamb on whether you learned something major? I probably already have, to be real with you. Again, I've discovered my mindset when I have leads is kind of weird, and I have to think about that a little bit, but knee is basically useful in conditioning them to believe you're a bad player. That's true, but I mean, at what point, unfortunately, is the conditioning correct? It's like 6XL, yeah, but imagine if 6XL was punishable on block. Sure. Yeah, I mean, reaction is not exactly reactioning, certainly. Fine. Okay. I feel like oh god. I am trying some different things here to get out of the corner, so it's something, but we're having a bit of a rough time there. I'm not really sure why I do this, I will say. This is something that I do in Granblue too. I think I'm trying to bait a DP here, right? I don't know why I really do this. If I'm trying to bait a reversal, jumping is really not the thing, right? I'm not a Zangief player, so I can't give you an exact example, but a block string that's spacing traps into knee would probably be best use. Yeah, but even then, I mean, knee is a 14-frame startup, and they gave it a big old extended hurt box, right? So it's actually very difficult to act like, you know, beat out. If someone's gonna mash a button, they probably are going to get your knee anyway, unless it's like a low, right? In that case, there are better buttons to spacing trap into, right? Knee is really a specialist button, and I use it like it's a generalist button, right? There he has some shoulders on him. I've noticed it before. Yeah, he's fucking. I mean, everyone's huge in this game, right? I mean, look at that shit. God damn. his arm is like one width all the way down, right? Like there's nothing. His like forearms are just as big as his shoulders, and they're all huge. Even his hands are kind of like big and fucking meaty, right? I play Marissa lol. I feel the big button, big hitbox. Yeah. But yeah, so like, I don't know what I'm doing here really. Like, if I'm trying to bait a reversal, I mean, drive reversal whiffs here, but I don't get a punish. And his DP would have maybe even just hit me straight up. I mean, maybe it whiffs. But like, why not just, you know, if I'm trying to bait a DP, why not just block? It feels weird. I'm not trying to bait a throw, that's for damn sure. I know for a fact that wasn't what was going through my brain. So yeah, jumping over him like that, I feel like it was just, you know, a little bit too early. We could have gotten potentially a lot of damage baiting that drive reversal, but I jumped to bait the DP instead. Terry looks like an American football player in full gear, but he doesn't have the gear. Yeah. He has natural shoulder pads. Super hard to jump over Terry's DP since it's so vertical. Yeah, I mean, and again, you know, we just get the full punish if we block it anyway, so it's a little bit of a silly goose idea, I think. It opens it up to way more problems. And if I really want to throw tech baits, then I can just backdash, you know, even still. Like, I get it, right? I get it. Sure. In this case, it's a little crazy, actually, because this, like, jumping over him here is actually optimal because it gets me the corner swap. But, like, again, this is, you know, this is pretty lucky, I would say, right? I mean, I do it right away, I guess, so I committed to the option. That's good, right? Jumping over him here is actually probably the best. I mean, because if I block this normally, I don't think I can't side swap under him as I'm blocking it, I don't think. Can I? Let's see. Oh, hold on. Like, if I, right here, I switch to player control and I down back. Yeah, I can't really side swap underneath him, right? Oh, I can. What? Do I gotta punish here if I backdash though? I can do that. Can you not dash under with Geef? I can't wheel kick him, so I lose a little bit of damage, but it's still a little bit safer, right? It's still a little bit safer, and we can still get like pretty beefy punish combo there. Right? You still get all of this. It's a little bit less damage than the wheel kick, but like it's, you know, it's like 400 less, and it's a much safer option in general, right? I should just block it out and then react, then like preemptively jump and potentially get murdered. So yeah, that's definitely the correct answer. Probably way better, yeah. I don't think we can wheel kick no matter what here though, right? Yeah, he's gonna recover in time. That side swap is nasty, yeah. Whereas, yeah, the jump is just too, dash under is always swag. It does feel good, I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, good to know. Okay, so again, listen, the jump works, and it's the optimal right there. I get the best punish, but like, you know, let's chill on that a little bit. Jumping over DPs is just not the way, really. Cool. Yeah, empty jump throw is pretty good against heavy punch as an anti-air, certainly. Sure. I mean, it works. I haven't been doing that a whole lot, so I think it's okay. Right, kind of walking at him close enough to make him want to poke something and then hit the DI. That's not a, you know, it's a gorilla option for sure. But yeah, 5k DP punish is crazy. You can do 5.5 with the wheel kick too. I mean, actually, did I have level 3 when he DP'd me last round? Because Geef's actual best punish, I think, is not that, right? No, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, because you can do Smetana into level 3, and I think it's, well, see, it's more damage if you have CA. He gets like 6k, and it's a 2-hit punish, which is very funny. Gorillas are feared for a reason. Yeah, you know, when you put it like that. Okay, the funny. Listen, obviously that's not good, but like I do have some allegiance to the funny. That's okay. He doesn't get me killed that often. Sure. Ooh, body splash whiffing right there. Fine. I think I think here, did I react to this burn knuckle? It kind of looks like it, right? I think. I am kind of curious, because like in this case, yeah, because the heavy one's a lot easier to react to, right? Because he like puts his hand out for a second. Could I have feasibly done something like this? Yeah, right. Why play if you don't want to have fun? True. I could have done this, right? Which, like, I think, again, I say this because I think I did, like, it's clear to me, I think I reacted to Burn Knuckle with a jump over right there. Like, I saw it and then I jumped and this happens, right? Like, if I'm gonna react, this is an easy, you have to, you know, the armor starts up frame 1. All I have to do, you know, he hits me, how deep in right there? Like, that's like, yeah, like 23 frames in, right? It's like, it's a 22 frame reaction check. That's not, that's pretty reasonable to do, right? And I did it right there. I just picked the wrong option there. I reacted with jump instead of this, right? And then, I mean, off of this, we do whatever the fuck we want at that point, right? If we want, we can go like full combo into 720 or something like that. It depends. So something to think about with Terry for sure. I'm looking out for Burn Knuckle often, but like if I'm gonna be able to react to it, then you know why not just DI his ass, get a full combo. Hello, replay learning today? Yeah. Sure, yeah, that's fine. We just guessed wrong. Happens. Yeah, that's why heavy punch is a little bit better for cross-ups for that reason too. Sometimes you can get out of the way of their follow-up too. Sure, I like the sweep. Okay. A little too much jumping at this point, I would probably say. You see what he's doing? He has the lead. There's no real reason for him to do anything too crazy, right? This is what I should be doing when I have leads too, right? He's just kind of sitting there and letting me sweat a little bit. Just watch Broski getting Geef to master. I should use more Thunderstorm for morale. So true. You know, there's Elena. Elena's gonna be the. Is Terry like Sora's? Not really. No, he's not just like infinite plus frame. I mean that plus frames in general are a little bit harder to come by in this game, but think of Burn Knuckle is more like Grand Boot, honestly. Jump back jabs a good option to represent too. That's true. Just like a defensive boy. I think it was this game is now what we're gonna watch. How's it going on, Rook? Hello. Good old Ed theme. Sure. I'm pretty sure his ass was maybe punishable there, no? Yeah. Like, looking at this again, I'm like, that's pretty... +5. We could have SPD'd him there. I mean, even if we didn't... Like, even if we're gonna go for, like, just... Like, Headbutt's probably a little ambitious here, right? +5? I mean, Headbutt's a 9-frame move here, basically. It's a little much, I think. Or is that... Did I try to SPD him there? Maybe. Was that, like, a misinputted SPD? Oh, okay, it was. Okay, alright. Fair enough. It was a misinputted SPD. That's fine. Pass brick, he had his reasons, at least. He just fucked it up. Sure. No overheads allowed. This is good so far. Okay, I mean, yeah. Throwing him out of the corner there is definitely not ideal. I'm not sure about burning myself out here either, because Terry does have a burnout infinite on Geef. I mean, we could have killed him here, potentially. Oh, no, we didn't have level 2 yet. Okay. I was gonna say we could have killed him here, but... Misinput SPD, Zangief player's most used move. Indeed. I mean, I think, honestly, right here... Yeah, I guess something I probably should do a little bit more, right? Is that, right here, he's in a 50-50, isn't he? Right? Like, just doing... Like, right off of this? Like, I kept going here, but, like... Even, like, I think something I need to do a little bit more often is just, like... You know, crouch light kick, crouch light punch into just SPD, right? Like, I think if I SPD him here, I win, right? Yeah. He can't even... He'll get counter hit. So, like... If I wanted to, like, do something risky to kill him... I mean, the drive rush cancel doesn't even kill him, right? It's like, why not just go for this? And we can mix that up with potentially, like, the chops or something as well, right? Yeah, like, we're plus... I forget how much exactly on hits here, but I think, you know... +6, right? That is a real, honest-to-God 50-50 you're rocking right there. Just between, you know, having him get SPD'd or having him get chopped to death. So, going for the drive rush cancel there is very strange. Like, just crouch light kick into crouch light punch like that on hits is a very good situation for us if we're up close. Like, I did the second crouch light punch, I pushed myself out too far. But, like, just hit, like, it's very easy to hit confirm those two lights, right? Like, light, and then from here, that's very easy to hit confirm at that point. All right, cool. We're, you know, actually run... Like, we don't need to spend any drive gauge here to be in a good spot, right? I think I got a little too fixated on, like, the drive rush cancel, stand light, crouch light punch, because then that one's +10, and you can get headbutt or SPD as a mix. Well, like, you can't headbutt here, but you can chop. No reason not to, right? I know what SPD stands for, but I can't help but think of Power Rangers every time I hear it. So true. So yeah, I mean, I think we might win this round, but that burnout was really bad, I think. What's going on, Scully? Out. Ow. Ow. Wait, do we win this round? Maybe we don't. Huh? Ow. Ow. I forgot that okay, you know what? Aura restored. Aura restored. Fair enough. Still a really bad idea to burn myself out there. We almost lost that round for no reason. But the wake up SPD, I'm gonna have to put some respect on that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Should have lost, ain't gonna lie. I'm with you. I'm with you. That burnout was a horrible idea. No, yeah, we were getting looped, but sometimes you're just better, I fear. Good reset, sure. Nice bait. Yeah, I mean, this was... Ooh, and the health stab level 1? Who is this guy? God damn. Okay. God damn. This must have been after I got something to eat. This I could not have done this fasting, I don't think. Okay, but so, I mean, overall, that was pretty good. The one thing, though, right? The one thing is definitely just that burnout was really bad. And it's not just that we chose to burn out. Again, you know... Wait, let me take me back to this. This is kind of the same thing here. Say, so, this is what one of those... One of them moments where we play funny with our lead again, right? So even say like right here, I still don't have it really in my head that like, you know, I can go crouch light kick, crouch light punch. It's a good situation for me, right? Sure. Like say we're not gonna do that, even though we definitely should. But right there, it's not really what we're thinking about. Even then, right? We go right back to what's it called? This right here, right? Not recognizing leads. Why burn myself out here? Right? Like, why? Like, even say that we were going to end things on, like, just this second crouch light punch, and that's it, right? We're just going to go crouch light kick, crouch light punch, crouch light punch, reset to neutral, right? Yeah, that's not that bad either, man. Like, we have, like, 6,000 extra health on this guy or something like that. Our drive gauge is doing fine before we decide to burn ourselves out, right? We're in the middle of the screen, you know? We've got, like, decent, we're even on meter. Like, why wouldn't I just stop here and play it out from there? Right? He is the one in trouble here. He's the one who, you know, he's one SPD away from death, one, like, slight poke away from death, one wrong guess away from death. It's happening again. Wow. Right? We have a, by the way, 69. We have a pretty big lead here, and we just don't play like it at all, right? Also, look at Geef's fucking back, man. Jesus Christ. My God, what is that? He's fucking huge. I got distracted. Like this angle where he's like starting up his drive rush. He looks like a fucking fridge, man. Okay, but ignore that for now. Back to the actual replay reviewing. So I don't really see the pause on this angle that often. But yeah, like why burn myself out here? I'm not gonna kill him here regardless, right? Like. I mean, I could put him in a 50-50 and kill him, which, again, we go back to the idea of, you know, I can just put him in a 50-50 right there, right? Like, right here, he's in a 50-50, so there's no need to spend drive gauge to put him in there, right? But, like, yeah, even if we're not going to do that, why burn ourselves out? Their drive rush throw OS level 1 wouldn't have been a bad idea. Like, yeah, you can do that, and if it, I guess that loses to backdash, though, right, Ball Tapper? If people are trying to avoid throws by backdashing instead of jumping, it's you die. I would presume, right? But yeah, in general, even like I just don't think even this, I don't think we need to take a risk to end the round here, right? Like even the drive rush level 1 throw OS is like it's a safer idea. But like why not just fucking like if I'm not gonna do a 50-50 there, like why not just do that second light punch and stop? What do I have to lose, man? He's like 2 chops away from death. He's like 1 SPD away from death. He's like a sweep and a light kick away from death. So many different avenues exist for us that if this round did reset to neutral, we would win, right? Like once this jump in is huge for us. Like once we're very in control. Like once we just go to here, right? So we go like light punch, right? Just resetting to neutral here, right? So many different avenues exist for this game to go our way from here, and he has to be right so many more times than we do for shit to actually work out in his favor here, right? So, like, why even take the risk? Again, another example of this shit right here. We have a big lead, and we still do things like burn ourselves out or go for, like, the hero play when there's literally no reason to, and it does very much almost cost us this round. In fact, again, Wake Up SPD works. I don't really know how, right? I guess because I called out the shimmy, right? But, like, yeah. I think hit confirming is also an issue right there. I don't think... Was there a combo we could have done to kill him there? Maybe, right? Yeah, actually maybe, because we did drop it, right? Where it should have actually been a continuation. Does he die? If we just go... Because that's a whole other thing. We just fucking kill him there? With like another... Going straight into Hell Stab would have done it? Interesting. So you're saying... Hold on. So you're saying... right... Oh, off the... Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, like off this, right? This jumping medium kick, at worst, is +7, right? In reality, it ends up being a lot more plus than that. Like, but on punish counter, at worst, it's +11, right? Yeah, we could have gotten, like, a couple of way better combos here. Could we kill him here? Yeah, we could have, right? We could have straight up killed him doing that, right? Exactly. That's also a good point, right? We just had the kill here straight up. I'm not sure if there was, like, anything... Oh, it had to be Hell Stab, too, yeah. It was close, but actually, it had to be Hell Stab for the damage. So true. But yeah. Like, if we're gonna get this, we can do... Yeah, we can't do that either. But yeah, so the hit confirm on the jump medium kick here is certainly also a good point, right? I wonder if the therapist specializing in SF6 players to work on these big mindset problems. You can be your own therapist, in this case, anyway. Mr. Brick, I have a question about SF. I'm trying to find a main right now, but I can't figure out how to understand a character's game plan. I would say... The easiest way for that generally to me is just, like, try a bunch of the character's moves and see which one of them seems, like, really good, right? Or, like, it seems like... And then see, like, probably the game plan builds around that, right? Like... There are gonna be some moves where it's just like, oh, you know, like this is what it's like a special move. I can see this being like a utility thing, something like that. And then sometimes, you know, you walk up and you see like, I mean, a fireball is a great place to start, right, or something. If you see that a character has like, you watch like a Rekka with a lot of different options out of it or something like that, like Kim's Run, or I mean, it's not really a Rekka, but you get the idea. Like a move that has like a lot of different variations and mix you can do out of it, or like Jinrai from Ken. Like obviously, if you like look at Geef and you notice that he has like SPD and shit like that, there's a lot of like I think it's just try to figure out all the characters' different moves and how they might synergize together first, and that'll probably give you an example of what their game plan should look like, right? And also, for example, like if you notice that all the characters' moves seemingly don't do anything from full screen, and they're really, you know, there's a lot of options they have when they're in the opponent's face, that guy's probably a rushdown character, right? Whereas, you know, like, characters in Street Fighter, the designs generally are not super, like, complex at face value, right? I think it's, like, for a lot of, especially for a lot of the more legacy characters, right? Like, if you open up Guile's move list, and he's got a fireball, and he's got a really, really good anti-air button, right? I mean, Guile is the simplest, probably, character conceptually in the fucking video game, besides maybe Geef, right? So it's a bit of a bad example. But, like, you know, look at all of their moves and try to figure out, you know, where on the screen do they seem good, right? Like, does it seem like this character has moves that are good from full screen, from right up in your face, kind of everywhere? Okay, then they're more of like, you know, they're more versatile and they can adapt to their opponent based on, right? If you're new to fighting games, just pick someone cool. The moves will come with playing. Yeah, but Rook, he plays a lot of Grand Blue. But as far as, like, understanding characters in a new game, right? Like, it really just... The move lists are designed intentionally, right? So if you take a look at what a character can do, you can interpret from that what they, you know, what their general plan is going to be, right? In my opinion, anyway. I think it should be relatively straightforward with most of the Street Fighter characters. You know, like, even just looking at Ken and Ryu, right? Like, okay, this is an interesting thing to talk about, so let's just talk about it and we can see, right? Like, even just thinking about Ken and Ryu as, like, you know, two characters that are similar-ish, right, at face value, right? They're both Shotos, they are both, like, you know, sort of, the default guy, right? But if you take a look at their move list, you'll start to be able to see, like, the differences that point out the fact that, yeah, like, Ken is the more, like, rush down of the two of them, right? Namely... Right, so if I take a look at the command lists right here, right? I'm opening it up. I'm trying to understand these characters kind of from scratch, right? Ryu has a fireball. He's got a DP. He's got some sort of gap closing move, which it knocks people away on hits. Sure, okay. You can do it in the air. This thing is, you know, it seems like, I mean, this thing this thing is a little bit more probably you probably could understand it just from looking at it here. But yeah, but you would, if you played around with this a bit, you'd notice this wants to be like spaced out, right? That's actually very punishable up close, right? He's got this thing, sure, and he's got this charge that buffs his fireball. Okay, cool. How does that compare to Ken, right? So, right, like, this is basically full screen move, defensive move, right? I mean, like, gap closer for sure, but, like, it's not like he gets a lot off this, right? Like, this seems like it knocks people away and puts him back at a range where he wants to be at, right? Same thing here, right? This, again, if you play around with it a bit, is very clearly wants to be spaced out from kind of a middle distance. This is more of an up-close, this is definitely an up-close pressure move. Okay, interesting. And then this buffs his fireball. So there's a lot of, like, this guy seems to want to be, like, kind of like this distance right here, or, like, this distance right here, right? He's got a lot of moves that either, you know, like, they work really well from full screen, or they work better from full screen, right? Or, like, yeah, stuff like this, like, needs to be spaced out to be really good, stuff like that. If you look at Ken's command list, right, suddenly, you notice a very big difference. Right, so okay, he's got a fireball, cool, and don't even worry about like any nuances of like, oh, his fireball is actually slightly worse, which implies that he's less of a zoning type. No, he's got a fireball, he's got a DP, cool. He's got the same Tatsu, interesting, okay, cool. This is one of the things where, yeah, I mean, you could it changes a bit when he does his quick dash. We'll talk about that in a second, but sure, he's got the same thing so far, cool. Dragon Lash immediately is like the first sort of big thing of like, oh, this is like he's got a move that like gap closes and leaves him right up close to the opponent, right? And again, if you try out the different versions of this move, you'll notice that like, is it cortical back? What is it 623? What the fuck is the input? I was just looking. What's the input for Dragon Lash? Oh, it is, yeah, it's 623 kicks. Yeah. So if you try this out, you'll notice as you play around with this shit's plus on block, right? So immediately that's a very big difference between Ken and Ryu. This guy has a forward advancing, neutral skipping, plus on block move that Ryu did not seem to have, right? Let's keep going. Jinrai. Again, this is a move that is only like if you play it at all, this thing is obviously like it only really works right in their face, right? There's a couple different mix-up options here. Right? You can go low, you can go overhead, you can do like this sort of heavy ender here, right? Yeah, and then this follow-up as well, right? And then he also has, I guess is it, yeah, he's got his run here, right? Which, again, if you were looking through the command list, you'd see this. Again, he has a move that literally just is a dash, right? It's very clearly a gap-closing move, and he can stop to do some funny shit. He has an overhead out of it. He can do a push kick out of it, right? Like, even as, like, the two, quote-unquote, he's also the best and worst Shoto at the same time, a lot of versatility, true. But, like, even just look at the character, look at the moves, see what they seem to want to do, right? Because now, even just off of this, right? These two characters that should be, like, the most similar, the hardest to tell apart in terms of what their game plan is, and also they're the most versatile. So it's not like there's, like, some huge glaring thing like, oh, he's got a command grab. He probably wants to hit the command grab, right? Even just looking at Ryu and Ken, you can really start to notice differences, right? Ryu has a lot more moves that, like, buff him when he's far away. He needs to buff, and then it buffs his fireball. Or, like, he has to have these moves that he spaces out, stuff like that. Ken has a lot of that same stuff, but then he just has, like, plus on block gap closing move, like, up close mix up Rekka move, literal, like, run move, like, just dash at the opponent move. Just from this, you can tell that Ken is a lot more of a rushdown character than Ryu is, right? And then it gets way more easy when you look at like more of these like specialized kind of characters, right? There are some characters, by the way, genuinely, you can look at like the visual design of a character and it can tell you a lot about them, right? Like this like if you're trying to understand the different game plans of different characters, like I mean, you can look at Zangief and Marissa and get a good idea that they're not zoners, right? Like genuinely, like if you have like even like without a bunch of fighting game experience, right? Just like do you think that these characters, who do you think is more likely to want to like bully a person up close, right? Characters who look like this, right? Or like someone who, I mean, so Lily is actually kind of like, Lily would be kind of confusing in this sense, right? Because like you wouldn't expect, like looking at her, I don't think you would expect Lily to be a grappler, right? Like this sort of like, if you had to guess which one of these two, right, was the character who like really wanted to be up in your face, you probably wouldn't guess Lily. Right, and in this case, you'd be right about Geef, but yeah, Lily is a bit of a mix-up there a little bit. I mean, Lily also, I mean, she does want to, she wants to get some time, get some space, do the stocks, and then come at you, right? But yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can try and figure out what a character's game plan is, because, at least, especially in modern fighting games, every aspect of a character's design is usually intentional, right? So like, just by looking at what the devs gave the character, you can figure out what they are designed to do, right? Because it kind of sounds funny, but like literally, characters are designed to be able to do the thing that they are meant to do, which was not always the case in like older fighting games, to my understanding, right? Again, visual design could be a little bit of a mix-up, because like, does this guy look like a zoner to you? Maybe not. But it's another hint, basically, right? Like, JP is fucking as big as Zangief is, damn near height-wise anyway. But he is, however, going over here and piercing your ass and shit like that. But yeah. Like, look at the character, look at the moves, look at what they want to do. Sometimes look at how they're designed, right? It's more so for the extremes than anything, right? Visually, and you should get a pretty good concept of what the character is and what they're trying to do, right? SF6 has also done a really good job with lore and characterization. Most of the cast really behave like their playstyle. Yep. Sailor Neptune is designed to come and grab you. Now hold on. I said modern games, not Sailor Moon Kusoges. Anyway, let's get back to doing a little bit more replay review. I think I've gotten like my big takeaway that I want to focus on, but let's do like one more here and see if we can get something good.